where shadows lie. Here they find a brighter sky. Every step, every mile, they're reaching for the American style. The grass is greener in America, where freedom sings, where hearts run wild. The grass is greener in America, a shining city, a dream compiled, the place the world keeps reaching for. Factories hum with a steady grace, ideas born in this boundless space. A light bulb flash, a towering steel in every corner. The promise feels real. From the ground to the stars, we're built on dreams, we're raising bars. The grass is greener in America, where freedom sings, where hearts run wild. The grass is greener in America, a shining city, a dream compiled, the place the world keeps reaching for. The grass is greener in America, where freedom sings, where hearts run wild. The grass is greener in America, a shining city, a dream compiled, the place the world keeps reaching for. The grass is greener in America, where freedom sings, where hearts run wild. The grass is greener in America, a shining city, a dream compiled, the place the world keeps reaching for.
Down by the lot near the old cafe, where the sun fries cars all night and day, there's a wild crew doing what they do. Yeah, you know them, the parking lot crew. Refugees with moves so tight, waving cars in left and right. 10 ways to say, yo, park that straight. 12 for bro, you're 20 late. Neanderthals in safety vests, snack in hand, but doing their best. One grunted loud, broke out in a jig. Turns out he just wants a parking gig. Canines bark like they run the block. Chased a drone down, beat the clock. One gave change with a tail wag spin. That dog's got tips and a toothy grin. Who you gonna call when the lot gets loud? Parking cones up and they're drawing a crowd. Whistles blow and the scooters fly. It's a parking crew and they're riding high. From the streets of town to the lot bazaar, they'll guard your ride like a superstar. Yeah, from Josie streets to America, it's the funky, fearless parking lot crew. Car guard shout near the garbage bin. Who parks skill? You let them in. They blow their whistles in perfect time, like a backup band with a traffic sign. Then here comes Wyatt, the colonel boss. Duct tape boots and a look that's sauce. Rides a scooter with flashing beams. Salutes pigeons, yells at ice cream. Men, dogs, apes form a line. No dents, no scrapes, no overtime. If they park like chaos, made a plan. Fight them twice and be the man. Who's got the beat in a vested hat? Parking legends funky like that. Guard your eye with soul and flair, and a hi-fi breeze in the summer air. From this lie here to America, it's the wild, proud parking lot crew.
morning, folks. Welcome back to the program. It is 1:48 a.m. on the 24th of January, 2026. Apologies for those who were expecting a night owls earlier, but I had to unplug for a few hours. It becomes a bit much, even for me at times, helping hundreds of people around the country, dealing with dozens of cases simultaneously, none of which are my responsibility, none of which I get paid for, as well as Veterans Affairs, my own personal business, my own taxation. I have family around the country too, and other responsibilities. At times, it all becomes a bit overwhelming, and I needed a couple hour break, and so it wasn't even my intent. I finished working at about 6 p.m. and had something to eat, put on a special about roads in Britain, old Roman roads, and then passed out. Woke up a few hours later, was exhausted, decided not to do my stream at 10. Thought I'd do it at 11, but I was still knackered, and so I went ahead and took another nap. So thank you for joining me this morning in South Africa, Europe, and points further east, and here after midnight on the East Coast. And for those out west, not quite midnight. They're still in the past. Anyway, thanks for joining me. So while I was disengaged for a couple of hours, a number of things happened. I received an update from one of my viewers who became a refugee and has come to America now, and I knew came a couple of days ago. This family is also getting service from Church World Service. That's their agency. And the support they're getting is night and day. I will make a video on this. However, they're asleep at this hour and have not had a chance to respond to my request to use the photographs. They sent me amazing photographs of a home stocked with groceries, cash assistance they received, a cell phone, and talked about the amazing support they've gotten from their case officer. Completely different experience than those in Rochester. A new family's arrived in Rochester. Apparently they were picked up at the airport, greeted, friendly smiles, taken to their new home. They're already in a home. But they've pushed them outside of Rochester somewhere. And then after the supervisor was gone, they came back, gave them a bunch of paperwork, said, here, fill these papers out. They're self-explanatory. Basically, those are my words, not theirs. And they've been sort of left to their own devices again. So whatever is happening in Rochester seems to be continuing to happen in Rochester, and we will continue to cover that story. Meanwhile, I have gotten feedback from one of the folks who is a long-established South African American who's helping the refugees with care packages, with a group of South African women in particular who band together their resources to send care packages and help folks in trouble. And a disturbing trend is happening. And this came to my attention. Apparently, of course, South Africans are in very close contact with lots of other South Africans on the ground in South Africa. Most of the people I'm in touch with aren't really in this situation, so I don't get this information all the time. But apparently there's growing despair amongst people in South Africa about the bad news stories. Well, I'm going to tell you this right now. Whoever's over here in the States and sending bad news stories back to people in South Africa, you're doing South Africans disservice, disheartening them. Just because you can't handle a new situation doesn't mean others can. Doesn't mean they should be stuck somewhere where they're going to be a target and be murdered, robbed, or discriminated against and lose their jobs, lose access to universities, don't get medical care, and all the other discrimination that takes place. So I would suggest you stop sending your crying stories back to South Africa and buck up. Put your big boy pants on and start behaving like adults. It's a small number of you, but it's enough. Also, I've become aware over the past year that many people share my content. They copy it, they steal it, they paste it on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. It's one thing to post my content there. It's quite another to put it on your channel and purport that it's your content when it's clearly me. Now, I don't have a problem with people sharing my content, but what I've discovered is particularly a video in which I only got like 7,000 views on YouTube, has over 70,000 views on one Facebook page. It has tens of thousands of views on TikTok. And altogether, it looks like it's had like 250,000 views, only 7,000 of which appear on my channel. So that's not sour grapes, but what it is that I've gone to a few of these sites because people sent me links, and I look at it, and people are addressing me on someone else's Facebook page. Colonel, what about this? How can I do this? Ladies and gentlemen, use a little common sense. Obviously not for my audiences here. You've got common sense. You understand what's going on. That's my content. Someone else is using it to promote their channel. I'm not even complaining about that. But don't expect me to answer your question. Don't get pissed off at me because I don't answer your question when I'm not on that place. You have to come to this program and comment on my channel and send me an email and come into my chat. How in God's green acre can I possibly be answering questions on other social media accounts that I'm completely unaware of? This also goes back to the story that Ronaldo and many South Africans have told me. They said, everybody knows who you are in South Africa. I don't know if that's true. I certainly want to be humble about that, but I certainly know that wherever I go, I tend to get recognized. That's true. And now I know why. And I sort of found out why last year when at my meet and greets, people were like, oh, I love your content on TikTok. To which I said, I haven't posted anything on TikTok since January. This was in May. So it was 5 months since I last posted anything. But people have been taking my content and putting it on their channel, even though it's not allowed, even though it's a copyright violation. But whatever, people found out about me, so I'm not losing any sleep over it. And they're all making money off me. I find it comical. The haters are going to a certain person's Facebook group and saying that I'm making money off refugees. That's rich, to say the least. I've spent tens of thousands of dollars out of my own pocket for this program for what I do, without any expectation of any fame or recompense or, marriage or anything like that. Yet these clowns are saying that when all these other people are taking my content, putting on TikTok, putting on Facebook, and making tons of money off of my content, my analysis, my work. And then I find people come to my channel and they write to me. Well, this has happened to you this week. Well, I want you to talk to RCS. They're your buddies. Buddies, I don't know anything about RCS. I don't work for them. They don't work for me. That's a contractor that's part of Church World Services that's unresponsive. I have nothing to do with it. There's a super chat from Apocalypse Ninja. Collect your merch. We created it. We'll communicate with you. Courier it through to you next week. No. Don't courier it through. No. That Apocalypse Ninja, that costs a ton. Unless you had it produced here in America, that's going to cost you a ton of money. If you had it produced here in America, that's fine. But if you did courier it from South Africa, that's going to cost you a lot of money, hundreds of dollars. Don't do that. I don't want you to waste your money on that. I'd love to have the shirt today. But anyway, the point is that if you're going to use my content on your channel, then you need to make it clear that it's someone else's content and give a link to the channel. That's a minimum to ask for. And for those who are watching on those channels, I really can't address them because they're not here. But if this content shows up on that channel or that platform, have the courtesy to come to my channel, become a subscriber, come direct to the source. I'm not trying to tell you not to watch your Instagram or your TikTok or your Facebook page that you are in love with or that you like or it's your favorite. Please continue to watch that. But for my content, please come here. All right? A lot of time and effort goes into here, and people pick and choose what they want to put on those other places. They don't put all the content. Here, you can come and see what you want to listen to, what you want to read, what you want to hear. And you can see it all. All right? So there you go. Sad that you're not getting remunerated for Facebook. Well, no, there's nothing wrong with it. Charles, it's not nothing wrong. It's nothing can be done about it. People are posting links there, and they're welcome to do that. But the problem is that the link is posted there, but people are either, sometimes it's the link, but usually it's my video. They download my video, and then they post it on their, and that's wrong. Yeah. Yeah, give credit on the screen and tell people where you found it. Because what happens, and my big beef with this, Shawnee, is not that I lose revenue. It's not that I lose viewers. It's not that I lose clicks. My big beef with this is that people are getting pissed off at me because I'm not answering the questions. Well, how can I answer your question? That's not my page. That's my content that's been appropriated by someone else. Please use a little common sense when you see these things. That's all I'm asking. Anyway. Mad Max, some people piggybacking off your hard work and knowledge is not fair, and then they don't give decent talk in front of you either. That's true, too. And the other piece of this, too, is that the irony is the hate wankers who post their nasty comments anonymously on Facebook groups and tell lies about me. It's comical. He makes money off refugees, tons of money off refugees. What is that one comment? Let me see that. Well, I don't want to talk about that right now. Anyway, the reason I'm broadcasting this early in the morning is to let you know that the experience that a family had in Florida is completely different than what is happening in Rochester from the same organization, Church World Service. It goes to show you that the problem may not be Church World Service across the board, but rather it's leadership. Or maybe it just comes down to the quality of people who are hired. For instance, the gentleman that I met for a local refugee agency that has got 50 South African families coming into the Harrisburg area in the rest of this fiscal year, this gentleman is completely different than the interaction I had in Rochester. Oh, by the way, I have identified the asshat who's disrespectful to me. I know his name. I know who he is. I have him on video. Not interacting with me, but I have him on video pretending to be a nice person. Yeah, well, I'm going to contact that agency and give them an opportunity to repair this damage. Otherwise, I'm going to expose him for what he is. But I've just published a video about resilience, something that seems to be lacking in a small number of people. There are a small number of people who are out there moaning and whining about their situation, and woe is me. And they need to buck up. They frankly need to buck up. This is an issue that needs to be addressed by South Africans. These people are setting piss poor examples for others. And now I've dealt with this with some South Africans, with a lot of you actually moaning and complaining. not necessarily people here, but pissing and moaning, complaining about, oh, I've been waiting so long, I've been waiting long. Frankly, I don't want to hear that anymore. I'm tired of hearing it. I've been waiting, and people have, I've been waiting 4 months. No, you haven't. You've been waiting 6 weeks. But I've been waiting. No, you haven't. When there's no one working, the government's shut down, they're on Christmas holiday, they're not there. Stop being, anyway, so yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's part of the problem here. Anyway, there's a gift membership Wills gave, and Bandit got it. Congratulations, Bandit, for getting that gifted membership. So it's really annoying. Most South Africans are not like this, but there is a number of South Africans behaving in this fashion that really, really needs to stop. So I made a video a short while ago called A Message. Oh, okay. Apocalypse Ninja, I see your message. Cool. Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to that. So that merch getting here. All right, cool. So it's just really frustrating because I'm hearing from people who are South Africans who are in contact with people in South Africa, and they're becoming disheartened. I've heard about a refugee who had a heart attack and people who've lost family members who are going to come over. I'm aware of that. And I've said this from the beginning, folks. This is not magic. This is not magic. There are people whose families will be broken up by the refugee program, because some won't want to come. Others will. There are people who have to leave everything behind. And that's just the nature of this. I've been saying this from the very beginning. What strikes me is that now, a year into this, I'm getting comments from South Africans who've long been established here in the States, who are in this network, and they're saying all these things. And I'm like, where are these people at? I don't understand this. I've been talking about this for over a year. How are people not aware of my program, not aware of my content? And I don't understand it. It just, it's beyond me how I can still be hearing this nonsense a year later. And so some people are disheartening people in South Africa, and I would suggest you shut your cake holes. If you're unhappy, that's your problem. That's your issue. Don't piss on someone else's hope. Really, you shouldn't be pissing on other people's hope. That's shameful. That's self-involved. That's arrogant is what it is. If you're unhappy, you're unhappy. That's your issue. That's your personal problem. That is not how the world works for everybody else. So knock it off. Knock it off. I also find interesting how few views I'm getting. They're getting declining quicker and quicker here. I think more and more of my content is being pilfered and put elsewhere, and people aren't coming to my channel. So I suppose if I just stop making content, quit talking about this whole story, then these people will be starved for content and they won't make any money. Maybe I'll just quit making videos. There you go. So they can't steal them. Anyway. But we've seen last year in January, we had soaring viewership. I went, before the refugee program, I went from 20 to 30,000. Yeah, I went from 20 to 35,000 subscribers in January last year. And this year, we seem to be going reverse in January. Fewer and fewer people watching the program. I'm not sure what that's all about. Maybe it's a YouTube thing. These things come and go, so no reason to panic on that. But it is getting increasingly frustrating for people. So, for instance, I am getting contacted now almost daily by media production companies, by media networks, asking for contact to the refugees. Suddenly they want to talk about this. None of these shits cared about this at all for the past year. When I busted my ass, I killed myself trying to get the story out there, trying to interview people, trying to get the word out. None of them cared. None of them cared. No one had anything to say. They didn't want to talk to me. Instead, they bring, Canadian immigration experts who get paid and go on there, don't know what they're talking about, are lying about what's happening with the refugee program, putting on people who don't know what they're talking about, putting on people without any academic qualifications or life experience in the media, referring to them, writing stories off of TikTok videos when they've had all this stuff available right here. And now they want me, just like CNN wanted me, for contact. Not to talk to me, but to talk to refugees. Because now they want to tell their story. I've wanted to tell their story forever, and we've been helping tell their story forever. But now they want to tell their story. I think it's funny. Now, there's full disclosure. I've been helping these people because it's not about me. It's about the situation. It's about the truth. What's this? Hang on a second. Yeah, it's about getting the word out there. Anyway, so yeah. But I am helping them. Tonight I wrote to 4 families to ask them to be interested in participating in a documentary that's being done by a video production company in the UK who reached out to me. Also, I've got Rapport asking to interview a family, and I've reached out to them and asked them if they'd do it. So once again, if you're one of these folks and this comes your way and you would like to be part of one of these things, but you don't want people to have your phone number so that you're not being constantly bombarded and attacked and harassed by these media outlets because they share your numbers without your consent, I offer to be intermediary. I have a Zoom license. I'll host a Zoom session. Also, between South African English vernacular and these media companies, especially American ones or UK ones, I can translate your English to English, which has been helpful for some of the refugees. It also gives you a witness as to what's said, and a recorded record was the said. So I offer that to anyone, even if you're not someone who's been on my program as a refugee for an interview. I offer that to you. You just let me know, and I'll be the intermediary. That's how we got New York Times to interview Thea. That's how we got Daily Maverick to interview a couple other refugees, because they were only willing to do it if I was present. So that was their condition, not mine. So I'm making that condition available to people going forward. I'm happy to do that to help so you can get your story out there. All right, so Guy, stop. Why are you at the RSC site? Let me ask, why are you at the RSC site? Can you tell me that? For what? Are you writing someone's case? Are you updating case management? It's a waste of your time. Stay off the site. Don't worry about whether they're down. It doesn't affect whether you're going anywhere. Well, I don't think people realize the time. They probably think that's 2 p.m. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Ayakome. Okay, that's possible. I don't know that. No, but I mean, it's not a question of views. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, people always do original work. Yeah, I know. We've dealt with plagiarism for years. Truth is that some people are insanely jealous of other people's success, popularity, and absolute humanity. Their standards are low. Keep doing what you're doing. Integrity is low. Well, thank you, Brian Mostart. Yes, night and day between Rochester and Florida. Yep. Very respectfully, Colonel, give the a-hole a chance to undo his doings. Exactly. Just want to thank you for everything you do for us. We'd be lost without you. Thank you, Yuri. I've only ever known one other person named Yuri. He's a young officer in the Army. Yep. Lone Ranger, Colonel Wyatt, exposing outlaws. Guy, it's not worth my time to do that. And I don't even know these. I mean, people are sending me links. Hey, I saw this here. And, I didn't even know that. So I'm finding, like I said, I had a video that had 7,000 views on it. And then I find a Facebook page, 70,000 views of my video on Facebook. What? What the hell? If there's 70,000 views have been here just because of the ads that play, I would have, not that I'm looking for money, but 70,000 views, I would have made at least $30. At least $30 off that. Yeah, Broken Arrow says, at a minimum, when you get to the U.S., let me know how you're doing and how the assistance is. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Shawnee. I have no idea that people are writing questions on the channels, and they get bent out of shape of me. I've had people write to me. They come across my number. They write to me on WhatsApp, and they're all snotty and rude. Well, what about the... I'm like, who the hell are you? Well, I watched your video. Where? On Facebook. I don't post on Facebook. Well, I saw your video there. And you didn't answer my question. Who the fuck are you? I don't know who are you. I'm not on Facebook doing this. Be an adult here. You're rude to me. Right to me. I didn't ask you to engage me. It happens a lot. Lamp says, your info has been accurate from the start. Appreciate it more than you'll ever know. Well, thank you for that, Lamp. Appreciate it. The site is down, so what? Who cares? What do you need? What do you need the RSC site for? What are you doing there? What is the mission? What are you trying to accomplish? Yep. My videos do have a watermark. They do. Bottom right-hand corner. All my live streams. If you're watching right now, there should be a watermark in the bottom right-hand corner down here. But that doesn't mean it. People just take stuff anyway. Sally says, I only took your advice. Needless to say, smooth sailing. Well, that's good to hear. Except mails, which you said I have to go through high court. I was about my daughter, about it looks like Well, that's terrible, Iceberg. I'm so sorry to hear that. I don't recall the message or who you are, Iceberg, based on your username, and you don't have to disclose it here. But those are not requirements for me. This is a requirement for the South African government. There's very strict laws about taking minor children out of the country. You have to conform with South African law. Even as a refugee, you can't just leave the country. What is with my beard? It's not. Come on, there we go. Get it out here. It's not even tonight for some reason. Must have slept on or something. There we go. Can these other content creators come and go? Colonel stays. That's true. I have something to say about RC, and I understand we told not to go on there, but perhaps lost. Now, go where you want, Anton. Do what you want to do. I'm just saying, don't get all spun up because the site is down. What are you getting from it? The status of your case? It doesn't mean jack. You've already heard my viewers say that, like Conrad, it still says he's preparing to leave. He's been in America for 10 days or longer. This site is unreliable because it's not for you. It's for their internal use. You didn't have to tell me your name, Iceberg. Sally says, you're the most genuine, generous person I came across for a long time. Well, thank you for that, Sally. Yet people try to attack me and lie about me all the time and lie about what my goals and intents are. It's comical. Refresh, Mercedes. Mark Mendez, refresh. There's nothing wrong with the sound. Nothing wrong with the sound. It's on your end. Wrong with the sound. Nothing wrong with the sound. It's on your end. There you go. See? I can hear it just fine. That's the feed over the internet. Conrad says, yes, that my case site is crazy. It drives people nuts. And that's why I say don't go on it. You don't have to listen to me. You never have to listen to me. You don't have to believe anything I tell you. I've never told people you have to blindly follow me. I give you the receipts. I tell you how I reach my analysis if I'm able to reveal my sources. And most of the time I am. And when I give you advice, it's advice. You don't have to take it. My advice is get out of Facebook, get out of WhatsApp groups where people are talking cock. And stop looking at the RSC site. You're just giving yourself undue stress. For what? You already have enough stress in your life. It isn't going to change it. Do you think going and watching that light change from yellow to green or to red is going to make your life better? Or you're going to get out of the country sooner? No. When it's your time to go, they will contact you. When it's your tickets, you will get an email. You have tickets. And it will come suddenly. Going and staring at a screen and praying and hoping and mashing your teeth won't change jack squat. It's like waiting for your matric results. They come out on a certain date. You know when the date is? In this case, you don't know. You just wait. Live with my favorite colonel. Hey, Justainer. You share a phone number with a viewer on this channel. How do I do that? Nixie, you can't do that. We'll remove it immediately. My moderators have a mission. If anyone puts an email address or a phone number in there, they delete the message immediately. You should not be doing that. That's doxing people, whether it's intent or not. We do not allow that because people misuse these things. So my suggestion is that you write an email to me, tell me your proper name, tell me the person you want to share it with, and if I'm in contact with them, or you tell them the chat to get in contact with me, and I can share it to that way. Other option is to join one of the groups. I just told you to get a WhatsApp group, but I'm talking my news groups. Join one of my news groups where we share news, and then you can share it in there. You'll get somebody's number there. Okay? Okay, Mark Mendez, I don't understand. Does the intake questionnaire force you to have a passport to put in your intake questionnaire? I don't think it does. I haven't filled it out. The statement of interest didn't. The PR email didn't. PRM email didn't. So I don't know. Someone that's gone through the intake questionnaire, does it force you to have a passport, or do you just simply answer a question, you don't have a passport? If you simply answer a question, you don't have a passport, what are you waiting for? Why are you letting the queue stack up ahead of you with tens and hundreds of thousands of people? If you want to get the hell out, fill out the intake questionnaire, unless it says you can't put in. Well, okay, I don't know, Mark. That's why I'm asking, because I can't fill the form because that would be fraud. I'm not a South African. My case says a wormhole under review for the past 5 months. It drove me nuts keeping an eye on it, so I gave up and picked my socks up. Thank you, Talitha. And that's what I've been telling people. I don't know why people, you can use your ID instead of passport. Yeah, exactly. Throw that in there, son of Bloom. Well, you'll have to have a passport if you want to get out. If you want to leave South Africa, the South Africans aren't going to let you leave without a passport. You better find one. We've been approved and we're still trying to sort out my husband. Exactly. So just another girl, exactly like I said, you can fill out the intake questionnaire without having a passport. Why are people waiting? You're just getting further back in the queue. And if there is a real cap and there's only a certain number of people, you're going to ace yourself out of going. Charmaine Fenter, thank you. You're the best. Thank you for everything. You're very welcome. It's my pleasure. all your advice, your anxiety, and our anxiety is right. No Facebook, no WhatsApp groups when we stay at RC. It's like opening a present every time we get contact. There you go, Sally. I like that approach. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. If they haven't called you in a week, then reply to the mail. Then do that if they can't get in contact, says Mad Max. Okay? Johannes is 100% correct. Yeah, so I don't know what people are waiting for. Again, I'm not encouraging you to leave. I'm not encouraging you to stay. It's not my place. I'm just telling you how things are. Quentin says, Church World Service are making people stress unnecessarily. I've got my approval letter this past Wednesday, but it's dated December 17th. Well, Quentin, I don't agree with the statement. I agree with the failure to do their job. That's a month late. You should have gotten it a month ago. But that doesn't make you stress unnecessarily. You shouldn't have been stressing. It doesn't matter whether you got approved on December 17th or you got approved today. You didn't leave, did you? You just didn't know the date. So what's the point? Now, it's a different story with the family I interviewed the other day when they had their tickets bought on December 17th or December 7th, something like that, and they didn't get notified until 3 days before they left. That's different. When they buy your tickets and they fail to tell you about it, that's a different story. They could have had 3 weeks to prepare instead of 3 days. Will, SAH, $20. Thank you so much for that, Will. Appreciate that. Wow, $20. And Merlot. Hey, Merlot. I'm getting warm. You guys are making me warm. Hang on, I can take this off. It's getting warm. Talking too much. There we go. Whew, man. Thank you for everything you do for us. You're very welcome, Earl. Thank you for the 40 Rand. Will, thank you for the $20 super chat. Wow. I'm sure all of us off our continents have parents who taught us basic manners. Some people seem to have short memories about that when contacting you. Oh, Mari, not some people, a lot of people. Now, some people are very apologetic. Sorry to bother you, and I appreciate it's very considerate of them, but people call me at 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning with no consideration. I'm in America. I'm 7 hours behind South Africa, and they're up in the morning. They've got a question, and it's usually trivial. It's not even anything important. Urgent, urgent, urgent. Also, let me address something here very quickly that's disturbing me. I've heard from too many people who've gotten interviews, questions about me from USCIS, and this message directed USCIS. I don't know what you're up to. I don't know what your deal is here, but I don't appreciate it. People are being asked probing questions over and over again about, has the colonel coached you? What did he tell you to say in the interview? Does he give you money? Are you in contact with him? So here's a few answers to those questions. No, I don't give refugees money. I've never offered refugees money. I have, however, cleaned up your fucking mess. Your fucking mess at USCIS and at RSC. When you don't get people on flights and you cancel the flights, you leave them fucking hanging when they have no house to stay in. I find South Africans who can provide accommodation for people. I get food socks to deliver food to people who you've left in the shit. So quit fucking asking questions about me, USCIS. You want to know something? You want to ask a question? Contact me. I'm a public figure. You can find me. I'm not hard to find. Stop asking refugees this question. It has no bearing whatsoever on their suitability to come to America. None whatsoever. And coaching, I've never coached anyone. I dare someone to tell me I've coached them here. I dare you. I've told you to be truthful, be forthright, be honest. Don't hide things. If you have something in your background, be honest about it and tell them about it. An act of omission is an act of commission. This continues to happen. I'm getting sick and tired of hearing that refugee aspirants are being asked about me. It's none of your fucking business, USCIS. You want to know about me? Contact me. I've done nothing under the table. I've done nothing inappropriate. You're not doing your fucking job well enough. You're forcing me to do it because you're lazy or you're incompetent. Stop asking about me. You want to know about me? Call me. You want to know about me? Talk to the Army Central Clearance Facility about my clearance. There you go. Sick of this nonsense. Again, in the last 2 days, refugees tell me they've been asked about me. Monster Max says, I've been asked if I heard about persecution other than what Chris Wyatt says. Seriously? What kind of fucking question is that? See, that's a question to see if the person is actually a legitimate refugee by claiming that I must be spreading fake news or something like that. These USCIS agents need to learn a little shit about South Africa and stop being shitheads. This seems to be an intentional effort to undermine refugee applications. Cinderella, that's a silly question. I'm not going to make fun of you, but that's a silly question. Stop asking questions like that. There is no how long. There's no pattern. There's no standard. Everything's different for every case. There's no order. Do you go to medicals before interview? You're not supposed to, but yes, people do. It's not a good question. Yeah, no, I've got that video, but I'm afraid to show that on YouTube, Mad Max, because it'll probably get me censored, carrying the head of a white person. Yeah, I saw that. Kill the whites. I've sent that to people in D.C. who are powerful. Well, Sally, that's interesting you weren't asked about me. But there are certain USCIS agents that don't know anything about South Africa, and they're trying to make it out as if people are cooking up what's happening there. Shotzi, we'd also like to thank you for the info. It helped us a lot. You're welcome. Well, USCIS agents should be very friendly. They should also be very direct and forthright, and they should ask you pointed questions. That's their responsibility. Loretta, are you excited? Are you excited? I haven't heard back from Steve Hofmeyer. I heard back from him yesterday. I'm a little frustrated. Maybe he's that busy or he's not able to meet with you. I was trying to get it so I can meet with you. That would really made it a cool trip. So hang on a second. Someone's asking me to come to South Africa. Perfect weather. Give them receipts, tell them the truth, show them the interviews. Exactly. All right, cool, right. I'm glad to hear that. It's exactly what they want people to think. Exactly, Charles. So, USCIS, I'm talking to you. You got questions about what I do? Contact me. And if you're a refugee aspirant and you're asked about me, tell the truth. You watch my program. Is that the only thing you watch on YouTube? No, you watch other things. You read social media? Be honest. Have I told you what to say? Never. Other than to tell the truth. That's all I've ever told you to do. That's it. Also, I've defended RSC and over again. I've also defended USCIS. And that's why I'm pissed off about what's going on here. People that aren't doing their jobs are asking questions to give the impression that somehow I'm interfering with their jobs. No, do your job and focus on your task at hand. Don't focus on me. That's true, Broken Arrow, but I want a personal experience for Loretta. Steve's a friend, and I want to get him. Told them the truth when asked. Told them I'm a mod, and they asked what I do, and I told them I remove racist. There you go. Thank you, Mad Max. Exactly. What do you do as a moderator of my channel? You remove racist remarks and bullshit. Exactly right. That's exactly what you do. Yep. So, this kind of reminds me of an experience I had many years ago. Hey, Liesel. You're welcome. Still look, Liesel, the offers of accommodation, none of them say they can take more than 1 or 2 people, and you've got a child, so I'm still looking, okay? Still looking. Anyone who has accommodation in the Western Cape that can help Liesel, 2 adults and 1 child, please send me an email. I appreciate those who contact me, but it doesn't look like you can accommodate them until she gets her ticket. Charles, it's unbelievable. You do their jobs. Yeah, it is. And then they ask these questions. What is their intent? What are they implying? What are they stating? This really pisses me off. What are they? I mean, it really, bullshit. It's like the asshole in Rochester. What was his problem? I was nothing but professional and polite. There was nothing, there's no subterfuge, there were hidden cameras, no effort to do anything, no effort to say anything bad about the organization. He was an abusive shithead. And I know who he is. I have his name, I have his photograph, I have him on video. Suzette says, I'm sorry you had such a traumatic experience for helping refugees. Please don't feel... No, I didn't have a traumatic experience, Suzette. That's not trauma. No, that's not trauma. No. I'm talking about refugees being interviewed and they're being asked about me. Why are they being asked about me? How am I even germane to the conversation? Unless I'm sleeping with you or I'm married to you, it's none of their business. None of their business. Or I'm in business with you. I'm not in business with anybody here. Anybody. Nobody here. So I really don't see how it's germane to a conversation, how it should even come up in a refugee interview. Some refugees in the early stages said, do you know anybody? Yeah, I know Colonel Wyatt. So the thing is, USCIS knows who I am. So why are they asking these questions? Why are they asking these questions? I'll tell you what, these people are lucky that I'm not in the State Department. They really are. Because someone needs to take a look at what they're doing. That is very short, Guy. I've never heard of you being that short before. Are you like 17 years old? JJ Pretorius, long time no see. Why is that, JJ? I'm here every day. Yeah, do they ask about Julius Malema? Do you know Julius Malema? Yikes. Hey, Anita, what's going on? Oh, yeah, everything in Hermanus, everything in Malema's speech was white supremacy, white supremacy. The only supremacy going on there is black supremacy. Guy, that's odd that your thing lasted 30 minutes. Yes, Loaf Puppy, that's what it sounds like. Sounds like someone is trying to investigate me and discredit me. Yeah, for what? Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. Yep, Sloth Puppy, yeah, exactly. So, and I've contacted a couple people in the U.S. government and said, why is this going on? What is happening here? Both people responded back and they're apoplectic. They're like, what? I can't believe that. They'll look into it. Yeah. Anyway. Isn't it ironic? Isn't it ironic? I'm the one who protected the U.S. government employee whose information was doxed who worked for USCIS. I'm the one that exposed what the government did at Woodmead. I'm the one that broke that story internationally. Yeah. I'm the one that's defending USCIS, and we've got USCIS agents asking questions that aren't germane to your interview about me. Again, USCIS, come knock on my door. I'll answer your questions. Oh, your signal's bad. You need Starlink. Yeah, you do need Starlink. Mad Max says, I was asked specific Colonel coach me what to say. I said, no. Here's all my evidence, past and future persecution. Gave him receipts and said, how would Colonel coach me with experience? Exactly. How can I coach you? What am I coaching? What I have told people is the following. What I have told you, so don't waste your time, is that being a victim of crime is not a justification to be a refugee. It doesn't grant you refugee status. You're not entitled to become a refugee because you're a victim of crime. People are victim of crime all over the world. It doesn't make them refugee worthy. You have to be a victim of persecution. If the crime is racially motivated, that's a different story. If you can articulate it. That's not coaching. That's telling you what the law is. I'm simply telling you what the law is. There's no coaching there. Exactly. I mentioned immunity doesn't get you bonus points. Verna says, looks like you never sleep. Where do you get the energy? Well, I'm like Donald Trump. We are wired into the same DNA. Yep. The doxed agent's very professional and focused. Yeah, I reached out to him. He didn't have the courtesy to reach back to me. I mean, I'm sorry. The guy was an E4. You think he'd have the courtesy to write back to a colonel, but whatever. Boerblom says, thank you. Give us a voice. Well, I try, but you see what's going on, even being undermined by USCIS. I don't understand what that's all about. Exactly. How do I coach people? It's personal experience. And what is this? Where do you get your information about South Africa? Only the colonel? Seriously? Seriously? They live in South Africa. What's in their heads? Now, this isn't all USCIS, but this is a few USCIS agents. Well, they do their job, Max, but why are they asking about me? How am I germane to the conversation? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's very disrespectful and annoying. Anyway, live in South Africa. I watch the news, read newspaper, and yeah, I've got eyes. Exactly. Hey, Loretta, I don't know what you missed. I forget. We started out talking about things. Definitely depends on the agent, Colonel, because I was also interviewed the same day as Max and wasn't asked about you at all. YouTuber coaching. Exactly. And it shouldn't be brought up. A good USCIS agent should be able to determine. The only reason I should come up is if they see a pattern or they see something that seems rehearsed or they see something that seems unusual. I'm an agent. I'm a counterintelligence agent. I have interrogated people. I've asked these questions. I've done these investigations, these background investigations. I wouldn't ask you these questions unless there was something in the conversation that led me to believe that you weren't being earnest, that you weren't telling the truth, or that your story didn't sound right. Then I would ask questions like that. But even if they ask questions like that, there's no truth to it, so it wouldn't matter. But my point is that that's not even a reason for a question. My name shouldn't even come up in an interview, ever. Ever. Unless they say, do you know anybody in America? And they say, I know the colonel. A lot of people said that. That's fine. Then you can say, well, how do you know the colonel? Well, I watch this program. Okay. Then it's okay. Yeah, Westhouse says, I was coached by 145 race-based, lost 7 farm attacks. Oh, my goodness. Westhouse, you're not a victim. You're resilient. You're resilient. Well, double D to Dre, that's what should be asked of you. No, Max, I appreciate that, but you were interviewed some time ago. This is still happening. This is still happening. Yeah, we're experiencing, how can anyone coach this better lives? That's exactly what you tell them. How in the hell could the colonel possibly coach me? He lives in Pennsylvania. What's he going to tell me about my experience in Northwest on a farm? In a farm attack? What's he going to tell me about how I lost my job or how I put 357 resumes out and never been called for an interview, despite the fact having 20 years in my field and top certification? How is the colonel going to coach me on that? Maybe, Lucy, that could, once again, if that's the case, if a USCIS agent is seeing my content as someone else's channel, and that's their basis for asking a question, they're not very good at their job. Single account, 4 hours and 30 minutes interview, not bad, as I just spoke about myself, not stressed, just straight talk. Good. Yeah, anyway, so I've had enough of it. I've been hearing this for 4 or 5 months now, people being asked this question. Enough, USCIS. Do your damn job. Do your job. I'll do my job. Well, it sounds like most of you weren't asked about me, but it's been at least a dozen times that this has come to my attention. Exactly, Justin. They go, why don't they just reach out to me? Watch my content. That should answer all their questions exactly. Speak now. I know with the agent that met us in D.C., she's still working for the government, but also a super amazing person. Well, that's cool. Westhouse, best coach in the world, coaching thousands with each individual having an individual story. Thank you, Westhouse, for the super chat. Cool beans. Saw a man at the airport doing maintenance. He looked a lot like you, Colonel, with a beard. The glass. You mean glasses? I don't normally wear glasses. This is just a reading glass thing that I've been wearing lately because this eye is the retina. It's finally taken 10 years, but now it's having a hard time focusing up close. But it's probably less the torn retina or the torn retina than it is just age, because 95% of adults over the age of 50 have presbyopia. Some guy at UCIS crying because he's saying he sucks at his job. Well, somebody does suck at their job. Just want to ask a question. My cousin got tickets before the shutdown got canceled. Now he's waiting to hear from you. Okay, Quentin, I don't know where you're coming from or what content you've not watched, but I've mentioned this since it happened on September 26th. I'm aware of this situation. The U.S. government's aware of the situation. I don't know why it's not being rectified. Is it normal? No, it's not normal. Not normal. If the tickets were canceled between 26th of September and the 12th of October, they were caught up in the government shutdown. They should have been the first people that were flown out. They weren't. Some of them have, some of them haven't been. None of them should be left in South Africa at this point. This is asinine. It's ridiculous. It's unfair. And it's created problems for lots of people. There aren't many of them left. It's not normal at all. Is it not normal for them to answer emails? Yes, that is normal. They don't have time to sit there and answer emails. They receive hundreds of thousands of emails. They don't have time for that. Do you want them to process people to get out, or do you want them to sit there and answer emails all day? Most of which are ridiculous emails. Now, from your cousin, it's probably not a ridiculous email, but most of them are ridiculous. People ask dumb, asinine, stupid questions because people are self-absorbed. Does that hurt people's feelings? I don't care. It's true. People are self-absorbed. Me. In the case of your cousin, he has a legitimate question. And because all the people ask dumbass questions and all the stupid people that resubmit their intake questionnaires or put a second one in, because of that, they waste a lot of time. They don't have time to answer the emails. I'm defending RSC. They shouldn't be answering emails. They don't have the resources for that. The only email you should be answering is if they send you one on your case specifically. But these unsolicited emails from tens of thousands of people asking dumbass questions And yeah, they are dumbass questions. You may think they're important, but they're not. Just sit and wait. In your cousin's case, he has a legitimate thing. There's nothing you can do about it other than send me an email with his case number. Give me the full names and the case number, and I'll see if I can't find someone in the U.S. government that can address it. Now, I get messages back from people all the time. They assume that I've done nothing. No. Dozens of people, hundreds of people, I've communicated information about cases to the U.S. government. Whether they take action or not, I don't know. Because people mostly don't have the courtesy to tell me. Some do. Some tell me, oh, yeah. But a lot of people, they get action. They just assume, it happened. It didn't happen. It happened because of my intervention. No credit for that. I'm not making money off that. The liars out there, the Ferrayas, the Lügners, the Betrügers talking about me, spend thousands of hours doing this stuff. No acclaim, not seeking any. But I do appreciate the courtesy of, if you get movement on your case, that you have the courtesy to tell me. Now, most people do, but some don't. No, Loretta, your assumption is invalid. See, you said it feels like those that got everything done, it goes on the back burner for a while because they're mostly concentrating on investigating new case, and those take up all the time. No. See, you don't understand. You don't understand the process works. See, this is the problem. You all making assumptions. You know nothing about the process. The people who are making the decision, adjudicate your case. It doesn't go in a back burner. It's done. It goes into a queue to get you out. The queue involves sending you to the best location, the right place, with a refugee assistance agency, preferably with your background, experience, and work environment, with that kind of employment nearby, a place where there's a chance for you to succeed, get you in a queue for a flight. All that has to get done. That's not the people that decide whether you go. They decide you go, you go. Then it gets moved. RSC has to come back to them, the process, to get you on a flight and get you out. No. You act like it's one person handles everything. No. That's why they have a contract. That's why the RSC. They first contact you to find out if you're real, confirm the email and the phone numbers to talk to you, to pre-screen you, to find out if you're even eligible. If you do, then they schedule for the next event. Then they schedule for the next event. And those events take place at commercial vendors for medical. They take place at a site in South Africa where you're interviewed by USCS, U.S. personnel. They take your case. They wait for information to come in. See, Loretta, you're not even taking into consideration here. You got people with complicated cases, served in the police, special branch, served in the military. Those investigations take time. People who've been convicted of crime falsely, that takes time. All of these things take time. This stuff comes in. Then it goes to an adjudicator. Adjudicator looks at the whole person concept. Okay, all in all, they're qualified. Their medical's good. They're not a problem. We can bring them over. Once that's done, but that's different than the investigation. That's different than the screening. That's different than the flight booking. It's a complicated process, and there isn't one person that's making any decisions. So making an assumption that because you've been approved, you've been pushed to the back burner is wrong. It's wrong. You're not put to any back burner. It's just a very complicated process. This isn't immigration. This isn't coming on holiday. I've been saying this for a year. Yeah, no, they're stretching out a sentence until April 15th. No, Steve's concert is tonight, Sally. Those people work long hours. Our approval letter was time-stamped to 21/27. Let that sink in. People complain about them not replying. Exactly. They work 7 days a week. I've been defending RC. That's why I'm so pissed off about what happened with Church World Service and how they just blew me off. What tested the J.J. Pretorius? They test you for communicable diseases. Chest x-rays for tuberculosis. Why do you ask? What, you think you can just bring any pathogen to America? I don't understand the question. Sally says, ours take time, I believe, because military and community police form. Yeah, exactly right. They're probably investigating that to see what role you've had. Yep. Sorry to hear that, Hermanus. They don't know how large number of people operations work. They're used to small companies. Exactly. Yep, Loretta, different sections, different tasks, different organizations. It includes Kenyans, South Africans, Americans. Now, the South Africans are not U.S., it's the Amerikaners, that's it. And they only play a small role in this. Whitebeard, thank you. Thank you for your super chats, and thank you for membership. October, I did my intake questionnaire, but yesterday when I went back to it, it showed in progress. So I clicked on it and it showed proceed or something. I clicked on it and now it shows complete. Doesn't mean jack shit, Jacques Robert. Doesn't mean jack shit. It could change next week to in progress, okay? Don't pay any attention to it. Child went over a week ago. Mother and I are still waiting. Child went over. No child went over. No child came here. You sent a child here by themselves? No child came here alone. What are you talking about, Vanessa? I'm confused. There's no children came over here unaccompanied. What are you talking about? What child came over? No child comes over by themselves. Why the stream? No, the future looks bright because I took a disconnect a few hours earlier, and then I had some comments, and I wanted to let people know that a refugee who arrived in Florida and has a Church World Service agent had a brilliant experience. And when I hear from them, okay, no, don't apologize. Vanessa, don't apologize. There's no such thing as an adult child. Well, some people behave like a child. No, it may be your child, your daughter or son, but that's not a child. Okay, thank you. We say if it's your daughter, she's 22, my daughter, not my child. Okay, that's language matters. Okay. Yeah, I got it. She's your child. I got it. But no, she's not a child. She's an adult, 22. All right, that's important. Got to make that distinction because see, that's the sort of stuff leftists take it. Oh, ICE arrested a 5-year-old child and put him in detention. Nope, not what happened. Not what happened. Abandoned by the parents. Abandoned by the parents. ICE took custody of the child who was abandoned by the parents in Minneapolis. So they run off with these stories. And leftists watch this program, and they put dislikes on the program, and they spread stuff, and they steal content. Someone I know postponed health screening due to surgery on hip. Yeah, well, guys, I found this really wild thing. I told people about this yesterday. This is in Science Daily about how they've found a protein that can shut down things and force your body to reproduce cartilage. It's amazing. They're focusing on knees, and I need it for a hip, but I don't know if it'll be available for treatment, either a pill or injections sometime down the road. Scientists at Stanford found a way to regrow cartilage and stop arthritis. That's insane. This is probably 10 years too late for me, but I mean, I'm going to hold off on a surgery and ask my doctor about this. Hey, can we wait for that? I'll keep taking the shots till it comes along. So this is just an ad hoc live. Yeah, it is. I do these. Future looks bright. I don't do just a schedule, and I do lots of ad hoc. Look at Tuesday last week. I was at Rochester. I broadcast like 5 times during the day. They took my fingerprints last week. It did not go for screening or medical. Okay, thank you, Rudy. Still haven't found that 5-year-old's mother. Exactly. Oh, no, she effed off. Yep. That's the problem. Direct translating. Kint does not equal child. Exactly. Well, it does, but it doesn't. It's context. It's context, Vanessa. That's the thing. It's context. So, yeah, it does, but it doesn't. So, in French and English, we have a word called faux amis. Faux amis. The word is the same, but it means something different than it does in English. Faux amis. Fake friends. So, there's lots of words like that. They mean one thing in French, and it's the same word in English, but it has a different meaning. Sometimes they're similar. Knee replacement. No, I'm not doing it strutting. I don't need to freaking have artificial parts in my body. This is the real deal. This is what God made. Well, the little swimmer in the egg. Yeah, but anyway, no, I don't want artificial parts in my body. Bad enough I'm wearing these stupid things at this hour. Big Pharma did not block the study for cartilage. Yeah, I hope so too, Martin. Well, it wouldn't be Big Pharma, it'd be medical because the money's made in the surgeries. It's the people who make the titanium parts that get jammed into your femur. It's the surgeons who get tens of thousands of dollars from the surgery. It's the insurance companies. It's the hospitals. It's the clinics. It's the specialty clinics. That's the people. $65 billion a year business replacing hips and knees. Yeah. Yes, David, I know that. But I'm trying to help people learn a lesson here. Okay? Yeah, the storm, they say it's going to be pretty bad. And the people are saying that there's going to be another storm that hits Texas after the first one. It's going to hit on Wednesday. Well, that's bad news for me because I'm flying on Thursday. Yep. They found in the research in Japan that getting rid of some substance in the human body you can get your growth hormones back. Yeah. Well, that's interesting, Rudolph. That's why I'm not in a hurry to get this hip replaced. If I can get the cartilage to grow back, awesome. At one age, they're still asking if our Thai can assist after they told our first age that it's not possible. Who is... Okay, the forgotten ones, what are you talking about? You need to send me an email. Have you sent me an email already? Because I have no idea what you're talking about. It doesn't understand that. Corney Mulder's got something out. Let's see what he's got. UN Human Rights Council today adopted a resolution on Iran crisis, expressed serious concern, deep condemnation of violent crackdown on peaceful protests and human rights violations, including reports of unlawful killings. South Africa, in your name, decided to abstain. Ha ha! Wow. Wow. So the UN has condemned Iran, but South Africa has abstained. Do you need any further evidence of where the ANC's loyalties lie? They've abstained on criticizing, just like they abstained on condemning Russia's illegal invasion. Marcel May, thank you for your subscription. Transform. Yeah, I don't want to be a transformer. I've never heard of that guy. I don't know anything about that. I wouldn't want that. Well, Twinkle Toes, you don't have to be in the interview if your cases are linked. You get interviewed. Okay, you're misunderstanding here. Now, I know someone's going to come back and say, oh, no, we were all present. Yeah, I got that. But your cases being linked doesn't mean that you go to the same interview necessarily. You have separate cases. It just means that you're probably going to go to the same location and probably around the same time. Does that make sense? Stepped in a situation a couple times by saying my boss and another person at work looks funky. By that I meant they look cool. Yeah, exactly. Here, funky means bad. Yep. ANC is definitely not willing to stand with USA. The ANC is not willing to stand with the world, Charles. The UN Security Council voted unanimously on this. It was a correct decision. We stand by our government. We're not imperialist stooges. No, you're just racist bastards. Where's South Africa in here? Special session. Seven no's. Vietnam, Pakistan, India, Indonesia, Iraq, China, Cuba. Oh, it wasn't unanimous then. China voted against it. Wow. Wow, that shows you where people really are. That shows you where people really are and where their true hopes and thoughts are. So here's the vote, apparently. Okay, someone put this together from the screen. Human Rights Council, 39 special session to address deteriorating. That's the Human Rights Council, sorry, not the Security Council. The deteriorating human rights situation in Islamic Republic. The situation of rights in Islamic Republic, especially in the context of repression nationwide protests starting on December 28th. So, Angola, Brazil, Burundi, Cote d'Ivoire, Democratic Republic of Congo, Egypt, Ethiopia, Gambia, Kenya, Kuwait, Malawi, Mauritius, Qatar, South Africa, Thailand abstained. 25 voted in favor. Wow. South Africa. That shows you where they really are. No, future looks bright. No, I just answer questions honestly as far as the Freedom Front Plus. If you're conservative, black, white, or brown, it probably meets most of your needs. That's what I'll tell people. We are 3 in the case, and I did my interviews alone, and my father and fiance were together. A month later, being linked just means you travel together. That's what I just said, Dems. That's what I just said. So, thank you. I know why the colleagues find me funny half the time. They misunderstand me, and it sounds funnier than what I intended it to be. Well, that's because you don't speak English. You speak South African English. The cyborg, keep it up. Thank you, Francois Ferrer. Mad Max, something from ENCA. Exactly whose influence comes from thinking this former national security advisor speaks at checkpoint. What's this?
Trump didn't do what you asked him to. He did what he wanted to do.
Who is influencing Trump's thinking about South Africa?
People that he runs into contact with, golf players.
I've brought the two of them.
Oh, Christ. John Bolton, he's a slimy human being who got thousands of American soldiers killed in Iraq because he's a neocon slimeball. I was staying at the Mayflower Hotel 15 years ago, something like that. That's where the Mayflower Madam was at, the whore monger or the whore pimp in Washington, D.C., and all these celebrities and big political figures were getting whores at the Mayflower. That was years before that scandal broke. But that's why I remember it. The Mayflower is where I was put up for a conference. The conference wasn't there, but we were doing events in D.C. as part of a foreign area officer program I was participating in. So they put me in the Mayflower Hotel. And I saw Norm Macdonald, the comedian, outside. I ran into him. And I ran into John Bolton. Yeah, he's a slimeball. I wouldn't trust anything he says.
He doesn't bother to come back and say, can you check this out?
John Bolton is a treasonous slimeball, and I'll leave it at that. I'm not even going to play that. Sure. Sure, John Bolton, the treasonous, disloyal neocon who got thousands of my colleagues killed in his wars. Zero credibility. Yep. So I've commented, super scared that all the hate towards the program might eventually be the end of it. No, why? There's no impact on it. No impact on it. It has no impact. Trump is not making decisions based on stupid people's comments on social media or lying government officials in South Africa. Remember, I'll just replay this. Donnie O'Sullivan. Yeah, Donnie O'Sullivan, the leprechaun from CNN. So what you're saying is that Donald Trump is a white supremacist. Is that what you're saying? He's a white supremacist, yes? Ronald Mullah. Yes, it's a program for white supremacy. You must be an Afrikaner and white, or you can't go to America in the program. Therefore, it's white supremacy. Dumbass. Whites, browns, and black South Africans have come over. Black, brown, yes. Dumbass. And John Kutzer just gave 10 memberships. Thank you for that. News journalists love taking one leftist American accent and acting. Well, he's not a leftist. So West House, no. John Bolton is not a leftist. He's a neocon, neoconservative. But he's a treasonous bastard. And he is a dumbass, exactly right. Just like that Scott Ritter guy. I saw some idiot comment on my Biz News interview last week saying, oh, this so-called colonel, real news comes from Colonel Scott Ritter and McGregor. Well, McGregor is a real colonel, but Scott Ritter is not a real colonel. He's a light colonel, lieutenant colonel. So, dumbass, write your dumbass comments. Amazing, no media covers our Cape couple in the news. Yep, exactly. Doesn't fit their sick narrative. And I told you it won't be. So, yep. Oh, I know. That information will be shared with the U.S. government if they don't have it already. I'm sure they have it already. Hey, George, what's going on? Yeah, people still think the DA is going to help them. Your opinion in regards to the Democrats will push another shutdown? No, they won't. There isn't going to be a shutdown in my view. Enough appropriations bills have been passed as long as the president signs the ones before the 30th. If he signs them, if he signs these bills, then most of the government will continue to operate, even though there's a couple parts that won't be able to operate. So the government will operate, just be some aspects will be shut down. Yeah, the NCA is making the situation worse. Yep. Why would hate shut the program down? Why would the nonsense happening South Africa shut the program? If anything, it reinforces the need for the program. Yeah, Nancy learned all they need to know about geopolitics at Somali Daycare Center. I find it strange a lot of people say people cannot use their own minds and their influence. I don't find it strange. It's pretty obvious. Pretty obvious. You see some of the comments people make. Gotta say something that's bothered me ever since. So a couple months ago I said some cruel things about the U.S. because I was angry at the time and I feel bad about it. Well, Jacques, people make stupid statements. They make mistakes. We all do. We're human. And maybe you're frustrated. I don't recall if it was on my program. If it was, if I chastise you. But people make mistakes, commit their mistakes. That's human. That's good. So don't sweat it. Remorse is a good thing. He has to ask, what's this? Oh, yeah, he has to ask leading questions. The leprechaun from Ireland. So you're saying that Donald Trump is a racist. Do you think he's a racist? Do you think he's a white supremacist? Yes. We'll put that thought in your head now. Let me put a little pin right there on your forehead. So now you think that Donald Trump is a racist. Because I told you he's a racist. Because I'm from Ireland and I have too much beer. Yes, that's the problem. Yes. I'm short, 4 foot 3 inches, but I feel like a big man. I'm telling you. That's what it's like in Ireland. I was one of the leprechauns that was not fed the proper food, and my brain didn't develop because I didn't get enough meat when I was a small child. No, it's quite simple like that. It's true. It's true. If you don't get enough meat in Ireland, this is what happens to you. You become a leprechaun. Yes. Then you wind up on CNN. Every time I think they need to go check my bias on the matter, it's easy to go after the facts, then realize the facts speak for themselves. No, media doesn't use facts. They just twist everything. The media will never be held accountable, Mad Max, because they have too much money, too much power. Hey, Andres. Thank you for your concern. Heidi Gikos in Davos shouts at Trump to refute white genocide, but she won't ask Lamal about his false claims the program is limited. Yeah, well, that's because she's a fraud. She's a fraud. She's a fraud. And also, she asked the question. She said white genocide. Trump never said it. And then what are the headlines telling? Trump spreads more lies about white genocide. No. ENCA spreads lies about white genocide. Daily Maverick spreads lies about white genocide. News 24 spreads lies about white genocide. Ronald Lamola, Fikiri Mabalula, they spread lies, not Donald Trump. Oh, I'll be ready for the storms. They're going to stomp on the sharks. It might be cheaper to buy Greenland than funny Minnesota daycares. All right, Conrad, that's a warning. You're on a warning. No stormers chat. You're on a warning, Conrad. Yes, I think so. Yes. Take care, Will. Yeah, they don't know what a white supremacist is because there aren't many of them around. What's with my... Oh, the clock is looking kind of fuzzy in the camera. For some reason, it's not focusing well back there. It usually does. Yeah, that's right. We're going to have a shark braai, a high braai. Now, see, guys, that's why, if you speak German and English, you can figure out Afrikaans. A high, maybe you pronounce it high, but high. What is a shark in German? A haifisch. H-A-I-F-I-S-C-H. Haifisch. That's a shark. Parents were vegans. Minister of Agriculture, John C. Neisen. And look, I said that was the wrong pick. He should not have been a minister. He should have stayed leader of the party. But obviously his focus was on the extra cash for being a minister, apparently. He needed something to pay for his Uber Eats. Couldn't pay his credit card, so he still can't pay it despite getting the extra hundreds of thousands of rand. Yep. Riyadh Fun here assured me that he was trying to have a balanced thing. I wrote to him. I said, I watched the first one and first episode, and I had a little bit of trouble with it. I said that I'm surprised that he talked to that little goofball. Who's that kid? That teenage kid, Peter Krill, whatever. I said, you actually put him in your documentary? He's like, well, we tried to get a wide net for reviews. I'm like, yeah, but the first episode is heavily left-leaning. There's very little balance in the first episode. I'm not saying it's off the charts biased, but I need to see all the episodes. I've seen the first one. I have the second one. I haven't seen the third one come out yet. Started watching that. Yeah, okay. Can't wait to wake up in the morning, not wake up at night to protect my family. Well, Jacques, I don't know what you said or where you said it. If they interview you about it, just be honest. I was feeling down. It's not really how I feel. I was just angry at the time. Just tell the truth. I didn't know that he turned down the salary increase. That's interesting. See, that's not being reported. Real graves document race-based murders. Therefore, the fake news media can go F themselves. Anton, you're right. They can. They can. See, the truth wins out eventually. Unfortunately, the damage is quite significant in the meantime. These people harm many people. So anyway, I've got 49 comments on the video I released just before I went live. Let's see, sort by newest. It's supposed to be newest. I like this. The thing that people need to overcome most of all, in my opinion, is the expectation of being spoon-fed on literally everything. I've been making my own way for 26 years and I had to start over numerous times. Every time I started a new thing to survive, I had no peers to go and nobody to help me with a leg up. But in those times, Google was my friend. And the fact that I can work with my hands, I manage a Facebook group where I see exactly what frustrates you so much. Instead of a simple search, the same question is asked over and over again. I also think it's a sign of the time we're living in. I agree with you, Johan. Yep. Heads up, Church World Service. We're aware of you now and you're not getting away with it. Thank you, Colonel Wyatt, for sticking with us, South Africans, in spite of our sometimes being ornery. Shalom from Durban. What is this? Oh, S-Bach. Oh, S-Bach. So S-Box says, the Colonel is very didactic in this video. This means very teacher-like to Afrikaners. Why? Because you disappointed him. He compared you with Somalians, almost like Somalians are the scum of the earth. I never said that. I said the Somalis in Minnesota, and I didn't compare anybody with that. Yes, black Africans are bad. Who said that? That sounds racist. Who said that? That's the way Americans way with this administration. But this colonel was exposed. He only uses Afrikaners. Here's the evidence. And he refers you to the hate-wanking defamation expert there who defames people on the other channel. Wow. Speaking of exposed... I'll go screen capture in case the coward deletes his comment. And that'll be the last time you comment on my channel, loser, because you're going to get blocked. Colonel, I was just talking about this. I'm tired of stressing and worrying all the time. I told him without a job in the U.S., I wouldn't stress as much. Yep, I hear you. Someone said, assisting refugees numerous things in South Africa is absolutely shocked by the entitlement attitude. Well, that's some people, not many. Few. Thank you very much. Always your information is spot on. What really stood out to me is the misconception some people have that they can go to the U.S. and be taken care of without working. Simply not how it works. Clearly being respectful, humble, applying common sense, courtesy, and plain old good discipline is beyond some people and their entitlement. Yep. Anyway. So, yep. That moron's evidence is... Exactly. No, it's spill the tea is that moron's evidence. Broken Arrow says, the Colonel's like my pet cat. Sleeps an hour and have zoomies for 2 hours. There you go. Hey, bitter in December. Sorry. Many people said cruel things about U.S. and African reform and now apologizing less than all of us do proper homework on issue before. Yeah, a lot of people have said evil things about African reform for years in the U.S. and you're just idiots. You don't know any better. You're too lazy to do the research. Whoever said bad things. Yep. Yeah, get informed. It's like people attacking Trump. Look, I mean, Trump does things I don't agree with. What he said about Greenland was a bit much. But the bottom line is that he wasn't wrong. And yep. Oh, no, SBOC is a troll. SBOC is a self-loathing, hateful person. Yeah, we know that. And I haven't blocked SBOC. But the treading into difficult waters now, trying to put links into my videos to take people to a site that is a criminal activity. Yep. And really strange how people obsess and hang out here on my channel all the damn time so they can catch one word. I mean, if you want a date, just ask me. I'm not into fellows, but I don't know if it's a fellow. It might be a lady, so who knows. Anyway. All right, so. 3 in the morning. Well, Ingrid, I didn't do it at Night Owls, so this is a morning special. I can also disagree with some what Trump says and doing, but I think he's doing right in the bigger picture. Exactly. And these two truths can both be true at the same time. Exactly. That's how adults behave, Vanner. Thank you, Colonel, for all your advice. Can't wait to be in a country where my kids can be safe and free. All right, cool. Oh, yes, apologies. I'm buried on page 8, of course. Yep. No, I don't watch her content, Varoshka. Yeah, that Sloat guy is a loser of the highest order. He's the first asshole that glommed onto my channel, other than trolls in the chat, like Christian Paradago. Probably all the same people. Well, that sucks, Sigourney. Foot and mouth disease already reached your neighboring farm. Hermanus says Trump saved his life. Well, that's awesome. Glad to hear that. Prestige said that the U.S. will impose its will on South Africa, so I said they can try, but won't succeed because the Marines will run just like the Battle of Mogadishu. Okay, well, see, the problem with that, Jacques, is... Okay, thank you for sharing. So you're uninformed. The Marines weren't in the Battle of Mogadishu. Fact, wrong. Number 2, nobody ran the Battle of Mogadishu. If you want to see a Hollywood movie that's pretty close to accurate, pretty close to spot on, Black Hawk Down is a pretty darn good movie. I don't really promote war films and say they're accurate, but that was a very accurate movie. I know because I have friends and colleagues who were in that battle. Nobody ran. They fought valiantly. They didn't run. They were outnumbered. It was a dumbass mission. It was a stupid decision, and it's the Clinton administration's fault. Those people are heroes, as are the Somalis who fought against them. I'm not saying they're not my heroes, but the Somalis fought against them, fought with determination. They took a lot of casualties. At least 1,200 Somalis died that day. Most of them were combatants, but not all of them. Yeah, the Rangers were there. That's right. Delta Force was there. And an Army unit was there. Yeah, there were no Marines there. See, Jacques, that's the problem. People believe the bullshit that they hear instead of doing the research and know what they're talking about. It's like the morons that claim I work for the CIA. Really? CIA? Is that what you've got? Stupid people. So the CIA hires somebody to sit in a middle-income house in a podunk, peri-urban village in central Pennsylvania to create a YouTube channel? To what? To what? To overthrow the government of South Africa? To undermine the government of South Africa? To create a refugee program? What? That's just a dumbass, stupid conspiracy nonsense. Stupid stuff. Well, you were just wrong, Jacques. I mean, that's just silly stuff. I don't know what motivated you to say that, what age you said that, but this is the problem. The irrational behavior of people. This stupidity. America's imperialist nation. No, we're not. We don't own any colonies. Oh, but imperialism takes different form. Financial imperialism. No, it doesn't. Stupid stuff. We could have ruled the world. We could have conquered the world. We were the only power left at the end of World War II. UK was broken. Germany was destroyed. Japan was destroyed. China was destroyed. The Soviet Union was crippled. We could have conquered the entire world. We didn't. We didn't. This Michael ran for 3 hours telling what happened was incredible. He also said Black Hawk Down was the closest to what happened that day. Yeah, exactly. Well, I haven't heard Durant say that, but yeah, Black Hawk Down is the closest to what happened that day. That was a brilliant movie. Ridley Scott, one of the best contributions ever. Watch the movie. And they don't hold back. I mean, they use even the bigoted racist jargon that people are using. In that movie, you hear them talk about the Smallies calling them skinnies. That was a racist comment because they were all starving. Yep, skinnies, yep. What happened when you blocked? Can you still watch, but you can't reply? Anybody can watch it, but you can't post, you can't reply in a chat. If they try and conscript me to fight against you, I say, well, reply with a resounding footstep. Gotcha. Has she ever lived on a farm? No. Has she ever been a survivor? No. She's just spewing hatred, and she's committing criminal injury and defamation against me, and she's treading on very dangerous ground. Very dangerous ground. Sally says, I feel bad for you. You said before it was just a mistake. You won't be blamed if asked, own up and apologize. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, if you were influenced by corrupt media in South Africa and you only had part of the story and it was portrayed your way, then that's what you just tell people. Just tell them the truth. Listen, this is what was in the news here, and I was led to believe that America did something wrong and they ran away and they were cowards. Well, first off, I was wrong. You, not me. You say you were wrong. They weren't even Marines, so I was wrong. Carl doesn't read books. He stares them down until he gets the information he wants. I do read books. Let me show you. I do read books. Ready? Ready? Okay, I've ingested all of it. Yeah, Joel Pollack. He's gone quiet. Remember Joel Pollack wanted to be the ambassador to South Africa? And everything was Joel Pollack was South Africa, South Africa, South Africa, South Africa, South Africa, South Africa, South Africa last year. Remember that? Remember Joel Pollack? Everything was South Africa. Remember this? What do you hear from Joel Pollack now in South Africa? You hearing anything? You hearing anything from Joel Pollack about South Africa? I don't. I don't hear anything from Joel Pollack. Laura Logan, she talking about South Africa? These are South Africans. Not saying squat about South Africa. Crickets. Crickets. You see the true character of people and what they really care about by what they engage in. That's the bottom line here, folks. That's a fact. Not a damn thing coming from him. People jump on to the next big thing, the shiny thing. Who is still talking about Myanmar and the Rohingya? I am. Who still talks about the Uyghurs in China? I do. Who promotes the San? I do. Who promotes Sutu, Tswana, Afrikaner? Where are all these other people at? White noise, exactly. Nothing. All this concern about South Africa. And Elon Musk. I'm not criticizing Elon Musk, but I told you all along, Elon Musk is not focused on South Africa. And the proof of the pudding is, what is Elon Musk? Occasionally he puts a tweet out, but not really. It's not his focus. He's got a business. He's got politics in America he's got to worry about. Yep. Thank you, Faith. I'm the only person being consistent. No one else bothers. Exactly. Exactly. Rudy says, I think I must send my kids to you so they can see what it is, commitment, hard work. You're awesome. I just regret seeing you being... Well, Rudy, I'm glad you mean beginning of last year. Or you just now see me in January this year? Wow, you really found me late. Dunning-Kruger, I think, best shows about what stupid people don't wear signs, like the guy that put lemon juice on his face and robbed 2 banks and got caught. I don't know that story. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. Yeah, it's free, and it's not the same as membership. Exactly. Yep. Anyway, so yeah, these people come and go. They attack other people. Look, it's like the Balson thing. I didn't say anything about Scott Balson. He was lying about me and trashing me for over a year and a half. I never said anything bad about it. I still told people to go watch his content when he had something that was useful on there. But then eventually I had enough of it. Yep. It does matter if Malema goes to jail. Cape Town, USA, it does matter. It won't change what you're saying, but it does matter if he goes to jail. Pentagon signed the contract with Elon Musk, what, for satellites? Yes, I think the GNU will accept Brent Bozell's credentials. If they don't, a world of hurt's going to come their way. 50 families in my yard. I don't know about that. Yep. Anyway. All right. So, guys, I want to come on and give you the updates. Let me come back to the start of this, what happened. So, a couple things. A wise lady who's a South African sent me a couple voice notes, and I was perplexed because the wise lady said, there's a lot of people losing hope in South Africa because of these bad news stories. Can you interview people and tell some positive stories? I'm like, are you serious? I've done 25 interviews with South Africans. Almost all of them have been overwhelmingly positive. I don't understand this. How do people not know this? How do they not know this? How are South Africans in South Africa not seeing these videos? It's insane. Nixie, thank you for the 140 rand. It's very kind of you. I mean, I don't understand that. So this is someone in America who's doing well helping refugees and didn't know who I was initially. Then I was introduced to her by Lili van der Plas. Thank you, Lili, for that. But is saying, well, we need to tell positive stories. Well, what the hell do you think I've been doing? I'm not picking on that lady, but what the hell do you think I've been doing? Bending over backwards to tell the truth about this program. I'm killing myself for the last year. Killing myself. Shortening my lifespan. Draining myself of resources and funds. Traveling all over the world. Trying to tell people about this program. Traveling all over America. Interviewing people in person. Interviewing people remotely. Telling positive news stories. Telling the truth about how coloreds and Indians and blacks are coming over here along with Afrikaners and white South Africans. And people are like, we need to tell positive stories. Seriously? Seriously? I need to tell positive stories? I am telling positive stories. I tell people about one bad situation in Rochester, and that's all they hear about? Seriously? Anyway, so I'm a little frustrated by that. So that was one reason why I went on this morning. The other reason is that, again, I started this program with another good news story. A South African family has gone to Florida. Church World Services, the Refugee Assistance Agency. The case officer assigned to them has been brilliant. They've been here 2 days. They were given cash. I have a picture of the $100 bill. I have a picture of the cell phone. I have a picture of what their apartment looks like, the microwave, the beautiful looking apartment that they're in. But I haven't got their permission to share that yet. If they give it to me, then I'll make a story. I'll tell you about it. Oh, okay, so it only has been this year, Rudy. I've been doing this since 2020. Since February 2020. Thank you for finding me. The shadow banning makes it hard for people to find me. Tell everyone you know about me, Rudy. I'd appreciate it. That's what you can do for me. Get them to subscribe. Well, Sunrise, I appreciate we'd rather know the negative, but apparently some people are not strong of conviction of will, and they're giving up in South Africa thinking the program is just nonsense. They stop listening to the bullshit. You're hero to thousands of South Africans, ignore the few leaders complain. Well, thank you for that, Quest Computer. Perhaps add a playlist in your YouTube channel. Could I haps? Okay, now Mad Max is a moderator. Mad Max is a fantastic contributor to this channel. Let me show you something, Mad Max. And this is why I'm frustrated. Okay? So, not to make you look bad, Mad Max. I certainly don't want to do that because you're a hero to me. But let me go to my channel. Okay? Let me show you something. Can I make a playlist? Can I make a playlist? Okay. Can I make a playlist? There's my channel on YouTube. Okay? Okay, court clips, Code Red, Iconic, South Africa's elections, Trump, the USA refugee program, Ukraine invasion, bribe ruse. 283 episodes of Trump and the South, 283 videos on refugees, 283 videos that I've put in the playlist. But what's this? Oh, the South African refugee interview. View the full playlist. Look at that. Oh, there's Grant and Elvira in South Dakota, then Elsie and Mona in Connecticut, Grant O'More in Iowa, who bought his own house, then refugees who wanted to be anonymous, then Ben and Lynn in Milwaukee, the Stoltze family, Bluegrass Belle, that's Adriana in Kentucky, Rocky Mountain High with Fonz, then the George interview with Genevieve and her son, Lili van der Plas, then the two ladies who interviewed me, then the folks in Virginia, Letitia, then we have Tiana and Renee, then we have Frick Petersay here, then Car Guards in Iowa, that's me with Willem and Kara. And then here I am in Atlanta with Earl and Jay. Here it is with Charles Kleinhaus. Here's Earl. And then here's a color couple still in South Africa. These are, look, and here's the original back here. Can I make a playlist? Dude, I have a playlist. Y'all got to pay attention. You all got to pay attention. Wow, we got a lot of memberships. I got to turn that alert box off real quick. Yep, you got to pay attention. Can I make a playlist for FD interviews? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. And I don't know what to do. You need to go on social media and promote the playlist. That's what you guys need to do. Take this link and go on social media and promote the playlist. I'm going to go to mods right now. And maybe that's what we need to do. We need to get this out so people see all these interviews, okay? FD interviews. There you go. I just put it in the mods list, and I'm going to put it in the chat right now. Can I make a playlist? Of course I can make a playlist. I've got one. Now, I didn't catch every interview in there because I get busy, but I went back recently and checked, and I thought I had most of them. Oh, crap. What the hell's going on there? YouTube acting up here. Sometimes open additional tab, it doesn't want to work properly. With all these damn memberships, I've got to frickin' stick this thing in there multiple times and then pin it. Okay. Pin the message. Okay, that's pinned. So the playlist is pinned now. Wish I found you earlier. I wish you had too, Madeline. People just found me last year, and it's great they found me. Yes, Mad Max, I can create a refugee playlist. Interviews. There is one. Cyril's Blunder. Georgia says that's great. Corrine, you're welcome. I'm not sure why yours doesn't come out. Like, click on playlist. Bitter Ant says, people here have not learned to join every refugee program group. It's driving them crazy. They only need your channel. Yeah, they need to stop joining all these groups. Part of the problem. Part of the problem. Man, 50. Who gave the 50? Future looks bright. If each subscriber here share your channel with just 3 people they know, and they share 3 people they know, that's 1 million subscribers. Exactly. Exactly. That's all I ask. Just go tell people that channel and tell them about it. Don't just share the link. Tell them about it. The channel will explode. And then the ad revenue coming in will allow me to hire somebody and actually create, something beyond what I'm doing. And then I will be able to travel more to get these stories up close and personal. And it's, instead of taking all this money out of my pocket, because it limits what I can do. I'm not independently wealthy. So thank you for that. I thought it was 20 euros. Thank you, Future Looks Bright. And West House, thank you for the 50 gifted memberships. That's incredible. Yeah. Was that 2 people back-to-back did gifted memberships? Oh, yeah, West House gave 50 twice. Oh, my God, he gave 100 memberships. My goodness. Thank you for that. Wow. A lot of people here that aren't chatting just got memberships. Trust me, I'll tell everyone the other day, my fiance must marry you because I just watch your program. Found you in 2024 for news broadcast and U.S. elections. Still my go-to man for the news. Thank you so much for that, Anton. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people can't afford it. And that's what that's the other thing. So when these people come on here like, he's making money off refugees, he's a fraud. This is a business. This is a business. This is the media wing of my consulting agency. That's what this is. This plus I write and get published. That's also part of my media wing. And it's a business. And if I don't monetize my videos, YouTube still monetizes them. You still get ads. They get 100%. That's not right. They're profiting off me. They should profit off me as long as I get something back. So I make money off advertising. I make money off people becoming members. I make money off of people becoming, giving super chats. So what? It's a news program. It's a culture program. It's a language program. It's a travel program. It's all those things. The refugees just came along. I didn't monetize my channel just because refugees came on. It's been monetized since people begged me to do it in 2020 when I refused to do it. So those people can go shove it up their rectum. They're just liars. And I love how when the little hateful shrew from Sunnyside got an op-ed on frickin' News 24 on a monetized video. Of course, you dumbass. Every video on YouTube is monetized, you stupid fool. Every video is monetized. Whether you get the money or not, every video is monetized by YouTube. They changed the policy in January 2 years ago, you dumbass. Anyway, every video on YouTube is monetized. Anyone saying monetized, it's just effort to undermine the credibility. So is News 24 not monetized? Are they not making money by publishing this idiot who has no accomplishments, an op-ed, and spreading slander? No, they're making money off that. Stupid people should wear signs. Actually, Sally, the best way for me financially is if you send a PayPal. Yeah, because there's no cut. All I do is pay taxes on that. Every super chat YouTube and every membership YouTube takes 30%, and then I pay essentially 49% of my income to the government taxation. because I'm self-employed. 49% of my income goes to the government. And what I get for it? Shit. I get USCIS agents asking dumbass questions. Is Colonel Wyatt coaching you? Has he paid you? How do you interact with him? Fuck you. Idiots. Yeah, right, Merlin. I choose which business sport. That's why I'm here. But back to the money thing. I have told people from the very beginning, if you're an OG, you've been here since 2020 or 2021, what have I been telling people the entire time? Because I have people who are getting like their SASA grants and they want to give me a super chat. I'm like, no, do not do that. Do not do that. If you don't have the means, if you don't have spare money, don't send me super chats. Don't become a member. Just watch the videos if you have the data and watch the ads. If you have the data. That's what I've told people consistently. I tell them over and over and over again. Do I not? Somebody tell me that's not true. Exactly. News channel. Enjoy fishing for breaking news snippets. I can send my super chats. Yeah, they can F off. Well, Max, I say that all the time. Yeah. So they're just scumbags. They're hateful, jealous scumbags who have nothing. They have no lives. They have no accomplishments. They have no fortitude. They have no integrity. And they try to throw shade on other people. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. But people believe the bullshit because people have all kinds of bullshit. Jacques said earlier that he said those bad things about Marines. I don't know where Jacques heard that at because there weren't any Marines there. The Marines weren't involved in that operation. Yep. See, people just believe the bullshit they hear. William says, Colonel, you're a legend. If you ever need help with anything else, please reach out to me. I support your cause and we'll try to assist wherever we can. Well, thank you for 35 Rand, William. Appreciate that. Yassine, I know you've been here for a long time. It was before they had that silly add-on. I can't keep straight what's going on. Been watching your videos since after COVID. Only became a member recently, though. Well, thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate that. Want to see you in a live debate, Colonel. Yeah. Debates aren't what they're cracked up to be. The problem is that in order to explain things fully, you need a lot of time, no matter what the issue is. Almost nothing is simple as, pff. So if it's, I'm not a fan of debates. I've debated people and I've won. I don't like them because just the way they're set up. It's like political debates are a joke, but I mean, a real debate, it's anyway. Dirt poor, never given Colonel any money, and his channel still got me through the process. There you go, Quest Computer. Yeah, I didn't ask for anything from you, and I'm not asking for anything from you. Yep. Anything substantial, pay through PayPal unless you really want to have your chat read by the Colonel. Yeah, well, yeah, that's if you want to chat, but you don't have to give a big super chat to get my attention for that. But if you want to send a PayPal, there's where you do it, okay? Rudolph Skeppers couldn't become a member. And you don't have to become one, Rudolph. I'm not asking you to become one. You don't have to feel like you have to become one. Yep. Hey, Francois. Yep. Oh, that's the other thing, too. They forget. Don't have PayPal. Oh, sorry about that, Westhouse. I'm still here and I don't even have chat. I'm the quiet type. Yeah. Stuff to do before your flight. Ooh, flight on Monday. I wonder where he's going. You going to Mauritius? You going to Mauritius? I'd like to go to Mauritius. That's why I want to go on my next trip to South Africa is go to Mauritius. It's a lot more feasible from South Africa. It's only about a $300, $400 flight from South Africa. But I want to go to Mauritius because I've never been. Never been. David Pernand Mura. Well, that's an unusual name, man. Just dropping a quick thanks, Colonel, for your patience, guidance, time, and effort with all this program. Have a great day. All right, you too. Take care. Thanks. All right, well, now I am getting a little bit tired. What I love most is to see our viewers learn from the Colonel, and you can see them growing to think more and see the truth. Yep. Well, Cape Town, USA, if you don't trust online banking, you're gonna starve to death in the modern world. You're going to starve to death in the modern world, unfortunately. You need credit cards, you need bank accounts, you need investment accounts. All that's done online these days. Hester Altenbach, you're very welcome. It's my distinct pleasure. All right, guys, 3:30 in the morning. It's time for bed. I'll get a couple hours sleep before I get up. And we've got the Stormers tomorrow morning. I will do the news because I only have one rugby game on Saturday. That is the Stormers hosting the Sharks at DHL Greenpoint Stadium in the mother city of Cape Town. Only game I have. Does anybody know what's going on with little Zoe and her hearing? Anybody checked on that recently? I haven't checked back on Zoe in a couple months. If anybody has let me know, go to Mozambique rather than Mauritius. Well, JJ Pretorius, I've been to Mozambique. Don't need to go back. Been there a few times. Speak to me. My wife works for the biggest chain of resorts in Mauritius. Ooh, Westhouse. Okay, send me a WhatsApp or an email, Westhouse. Yeah, no, I want to go to Mauritius. I've never been. Okay, 1 week to go before the big beautiful tech. Well, bad weather's coming, so hopefully it won't affect anything, but I'm still going to do it, even if people don't show up. Like I said, one person's enough. Zeph Saga, that's an interesting name. Thanks, Om. You're very welcome. It's my pleasure. Very, very welcome. All right, guys, I'm going to get a couple hours sleep. You all take care. Please go watch my other video. Let me give you a link to that very quickly here. The one that SBach is tried to lie about me on. So hang on a second here. Shareable link. It hasn't got many views, but so SBach I think is Christian Paradogo, to be honest. That's my thoughts on that. So there it is. That's the link. Why is it not showing up? There we go. Okay. So that's the video I just put out. So at least a couple hundred more views, maybe, if you guys go check it out. You don't have to watch the whole thing. Just watch a few minutes of it. Thank you so much. Be well. And hopefully I'll see you for the news later today. That'll be in about 8 hours. And then if not, we'll see you on Rugby Ascendant or see you in both places. God bless and be well, folks. Go well.